I say, freight train, going so fast. Freight train, oh, going so fast. Well, I don't care what train I'm on, as long as it keeps out rolling on. Don't know where I'm headed for. Makes no difference, I say, anymore. Well, I got no future and I've got no home. Can't do nothing now but roam. Well, I say, freight train, going so fast. Freight train, oh, now going so fast. Well, I don't care what train I'm on, as long as it keeps a rolling on. When my baby left my side, something deep I say inside me died. Well, I've got to keep moving on till the memories of her are gone. Well, I say, freight train, going so fast. Freight train, yeah, going so fast. Well,
good afternoon and welcome to the Duncan Showroom. This must be edition number 31.
31.
Of Eugene Smith, Tales and Tunage. What the heck, we'll change the name just because that's the way we can find it now. How you doing, Gene?
I'm doing great. Doing
nice.
Just wonderful, to tell you the truth, yes.
Good. I got a bit of a dark tale for you, a bit of a warning for us seniors.
What?
Well, today I got a call on my cell phone.
Yes.
And it's a 250 number with a 701 or whatever it was. And I pick it up, and it's one of those automated messages about how I'm in trouble with the revenue service, and my social insurance number is in peril. And I'm going, holy crap, they're getting sophisticated. So what do? I should have pressed 1 and talked to somebody just for fun. But I didn't. I phoned the number back, and I get a guy named Robin at work. And it's just a guy with a cell phone. And I told him what happened. I said, do you mind checking your phone to see if it shows that call? And he did, and there's no record of it. So I phoned the police, and they say, oh, yeah, happens all the time.
Yes.
Apparently, I didn't know that they could co-opt somebody else's real number and that it wouldn't even show up in their call display, in their call history.
One of the things you have to remember about that kind of thing, Billy, is the banks and the government, that they don't do that sort of thing. Like
they wouldn't.
No,
no.
They're not going to call you up and threaten you over the phone, for one thing, and say and give you all kinds of bad information like that's going to make you feel bad. The government does not. The banks and anybody.
The revenue service.
Yeah, they don't do that. No.
Apparently not. No, but sadly, many people do get taken in. You know, fragile elderly. Those, and you know what the thing was? It was now. Who knows? The policeman goes, well, it could be China, could be Russia, could be India, but it was a perfectly good Canadian accent on the recording. So I thought, oh, they've really stepped up their game, because I'm not thrown off by a foreign accent. There's a Canadian accent. Must be real.
Yeah, well, you should. Sometimes, things like that. You phone that number, and all of a sudden, you could be, you get a bug in your computer or whatever.
No, that's what I'm saying. I phoned back, and it was a Cowichan cell phone number that they co-opted for the call, and it didn't even show up on his phone.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. How complicated it is. It's like ridiculous.
Okay.
We got some fans. Ken's there. Hi, Eugene from Ken and Linda from the Big Blue House.
Howdy.
Carol, of course, always there for us. Carol. We really messed up Carol's schedule by starting at 3 p.m.
When last week?
Oh, my gosh, yeah, but we made it through. Bill and Pat, greetings. R. Rusland, Rob, hi. He's beaming from Uxbridge, which is,
yes.
It's good to send out a light of hope from Uxbridge. Joe Gancher, of course. Charlie, Minerva, and Kate from London. And Dark tales for seniors, Rob says. That it is a dark tale, Rob. Keep your bank account safe. Ken says hi. And fresh air Pete. Hi, Eugene.
Howdy, howdy.
So you didn't bring your guitar today. What are you going to start us off with?
No,
there
I
again,
didn't.
fella?
I've had a request. Actually, I should. I'm gonna play my kalimba because I had a request to do a song on my kalimba, and then I haven't. Personally, I have not played my harmonica or my jaw harp in quite a long time.
We always love it when you do.
So, and somebody had said something about strawberries or whatever,
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Nobody requested that song.
Yeah, they did. Well, I just heard somebody clap over here. One
Scott?
person, Scott, yes.
Penelope? We love that song.
So anyways, or the harmonica. So what I've brought my harmonica with me, and I brought my jaw harp.
Oh, glory.
And so
Good.
whatever one people that are watching the show, if they chat in and say, whoever, the harmonica could win or the jaw harp could win.
Gene, you're making it a bit complicated now. This is not a game show. You see what I have to deal with, eh, Scotty? Okay, sure, I'll play along.
Okay.
The first mention of jaw harp or harmonica will direct us.
Yeah, whichever one gets the most votes. That's
sure.
That's
And hello from Victoria and Uncle Eugene and Martin and Erica from Belleville.
Ooh, hello.
I know.
So,
Ann Slager says yes to strawberries. She likes that kinky little
see there?
tune.
You see what I mean?
I know. Oh, harmonica, Carol Gordon. There we go.
Uh-oh.
You win, Carol.
Okay, so I'm going to do this tune. I've did it once before, and I'll do it again. Done it many times before. You give your hand to me, and then you say hello, and I can hardly speak. My heart is beating so anyone can tell. You think you know me well. Well, you don't know me. Now you don't know the one who dreams of you at night and longs to kiss your lips, longs to hold you tight. Oh, I'm just a friend. That's all I've ever been. Oh, yeah. Well, you don't know me. Well, I never knew the art of making love, though my heart aches so out for you. Afraid and shy to let my chance go by, a chance that you might love me too. You gave your hand to me, and then you said goodbye. I watch you walk away, oh, now with that lucky guy. Oh, you never know the one who loves you so. No, well, you don't know me. All right. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Well, I never knew the art of making love, though my heart aches so out for you. Oh, afraid and shy, I'd let my chance go by, a chance that you might love me too. You gave your hand to me, and then you say goodbye. I watch you walk away with that lucky guy. Well, you never know the one who loves you so. No, well, you don't know me. I say, you don't know me, all right, no. Oh, no, now you don't know me, no, you don't. Oh, now you don't know me, all right. you don't know me. I know you don't know me. Yes. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That was slinky, saucy, and sexy all at the same time. I tell you, there was undertones going on there. Holy moly.
Because you don't know me.
Because you don't know me, baby. Not in that way. Well, I appreciated that one. And you know what, Gene?
Mm-hmm.
We were going to warn the people that we're going to take a couple of weeks off at the end of the month, the 30th
yes.
and the 6th. We
Okay.
will not be here.
We
But
won't
don't
be
go
here.
away because we'll come back.
Yes, we will be back after 2 weeks.
Because you're going to finally get that blue eye transplant you've been waiting for. Did you see that? Did you see that movie Ex Machina? You could get eyes like that.
Yeah.
You could get robot eyes.
Robot eyes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that'd be nice.
Yeah, we'll be off for 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, folks, and we'll be back. Yes. We decided Billy needs a break. I need a break, and
Oh, I need to be institutionalized. You, however, are going for an operation, so that will be good. By the
Yes.
time we get back, ship shape. That's right.
okay.
Good, and we have a very special guest today, Louis Lawless, who you did a little bit of a documentary with. How many weeks ago was that now?
Over a month ago, maybe
over-
longer. Yeah.
It might have been even before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll check in on that. But Louis, born in Penticton and raised in Bridesville, BC, on a farm, and went to Hollywood at the age of 16 to pursue his love of the film career, or film, his love of film. And many credits, acting, producing, directing, and we are so happy that he came back to BC, moved to this area. Now I'm going to read you this quote because I love this. This is what I took off the site. It said, "Now retired from Hollyweird." Did it say Hollyweird, literally, or did I?
Yes.
No, yes.
No, it said
Return to Canada to film projects that tell the truth, hard truth about abuses, shame, sex, death, cover-ups, and the true crimes of church and state. God, we need somebody to do that. Just turn those rocks over, you know what I mean?
That's right.
So we're very happy to have him here. Come on up, Louis, and say hello to the big fella.
Louis Lawless.
Louis Lawless, ladies and gentlemen. Very pleased to have you here.
Sure.
Sure, up the Fred Astaire steps.
I didn't see the makeup room and hair, so I didn't get a chance. To
We could have gussied you up a bit, yeah.
Sorry about that, Gene.
I know it was short notice, right? Well, we're glad to
Thank
have
you
you
for
here.
having me.
Yeah. And we did something in it's just a short while ago, like Billy was talking about, and you
Yes.
about
It's a documentary I started about a year ago. I was just finishing up another script I had written called, what the hell was it called? I'll remember the title in a moment. Dealing with Bully, based on a documentary I did about the RCMP and the abuse that they do to their members and so forth. So I started looking at bullying and what happened to the children, because most of these RCMP officers dreamed of being in the RCMP, which is pretty difficult. So I just kept working on it, and I boiled it down to dealing with how the native children are affected with the racism, the health and well-being that happens to them because of racism. And as Harold Joe said so beautifully in the documentary, that it's been happening since 1492. That's when Columbus landed. So that's only, 500 years, which is probably about 10 generations.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still going on.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. What are we, stupid or something?
Yes.
Well, the Americans have the same problem with the blacks,
And we're having that problem here. It's not as acute, but it still happens
Yeah.
in different cities across the country.
Well, it seems that us humans have this odd, I think we're born with it, I really do, that if we don't find family relationships that don't develop where there's comfort and love, that child's going to start believing what he's been told, And if you're going into that particular racism family, you're going to start believing that. So somehow we have to learn how to teach the children, because that's really what it's about. How many songs have we written about children, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's where it starts in the generations. We've gone through 10 generations, as I said, and or 20 generations could be just about, and we haven't learned anything yet. A lot of people are saying on camera that it's changing. Well, I guess it is. It changing?
I don't feel a thing.
Well, the words are there. Do
The
they
words
mean
are there,
anything?
yeah, but
does it mean
it's-
anything?
Well, that's. I think.
Hopefully it is. I think when I hear young people talking about it, it's changing because they're changing and
Yes.
they don't like it themselves. you
No,
know?
but what can their children do? At least they lowered the voting age in Canada, I believe. They've lowered the voting age so the children can vote. But our politicians probably have the systemic racism that's in all of it. So it's very difficult. We don't know what the hell to do. That's the whole thing. That's why I'm trying to shine a light on with the film. In the middle 70s, I did a documentary. I was part of the producing team that did a documentary on the serial killer Charlie Manson. Remember Charlie Manson and all of his girls? And we were nominated for an Academy Award. We didn't win, but I sat there, and there's that air that you have.
Being amongst those people that yeah.
So it's an atmosphere they want to get back to. But I believe this subject matter lends itself to that, because the majority of the voting members of the Academy are white and over 60s, and I think us whites are feeling pretty guilty now. But we always used to throw money at guilt. If there's a problem and we feel guilty, what do? We just throw money. So we don't have to get involved.
Yeah. What made you get into the movie business?
Oh, Christ. I remember the first movie, Born on a Farm. That's all we did was farm, walk around in dirt, and nothing. And the first movie I saw, it did something to me. I just went bananas. I was there. It took me a week to get away from the goddamn movie. I still had it in my head. And I always, it boils down to what I was always in my head. I remember telling stories to people I met in Hollywood that I would be doing the farming and I'd be listening to the ball game or listening to a TV show or listening to something on the radio. And my sister corrected me about 20 years ago, we didn't have a radio.
Aliens.
You were listening.
So in my head, I started out there, and I really wanted to get to Hollywood. So I wasn't 16. Who said that I was 16?
Oh, it says that in your bio. You better change that. How old were
I
you?
thought I was 18. I just graduated or just finished grade 12 at Oliver.
That was.
And I'm on the bus to go repeat it because I failed. And I'm on the bus, getting ready to go on the bus to go back to school again. And I said, "What the fuck am I doing?" I really said that. I said, "This is fucking ridiculous." So I just got my bags and headed south. Something happened because I was always waiting for somebody to come along and save us. You know how we have that dream that somebody's going to come along and save us. We're this poor family, and the big limo's going to drive up, and it's my movie thinking. So when I got to Hollywood, I didn't know what to do. Mm-hmm. What the hell do you do in Hollywood? There's only 7 million humans there, and I was only around 20 people in my family. So first job I got was in the general service studio. I got a job I got into an acting class and met this other actors, and they started talking about this job and worked in the mail room, ride around on a bike delivering all the mail. It was general service studios. We did the Beverly Hillbillies, Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, and Pruitt of Southampton, and George Burns show. And when I wasn't in the mail room doing what I was supposed to do, I was always over in the editing room, because then they had film. Mm-hmm. Not like today. Yeah. You had to cut. They had to shoot the scene and take the film to the lab and develop it and bring it back to the work print to the editing people, and they'd put it together. So I learned how to do it, and they played with me, let me do it. Somehow I always seemed to have the personality to get along with people. Somebody said to me the other day, I think it was even you, Eugene, you said, "I ask questions."
Yeah. You keep asking questions.
Keep asking questions. So that seemed how they occur. But so I started with that and got involved in editing, and then just started doing movies. I never even thought about how to do it, just started doing it.
Did you find that like being in that down in Hollywood, it was very fast paced? And
yes, I loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah. Well, I first got to San Francisco, hitchhiking through San Francisco. I ran into the hippies, dope and women and having fun, and nobody's working. And that took me about 2 months to get out of that. So I got out of that and left to Hollywood, because I actually thought that Hollywood was in San Francisco.
It should have been.
They said it's 400 miles south, and I said, "Shit, I got to go more."
You could have revolutionized it, Louis.
Yes, I could have. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Hollywood is that you have to start from the bottom. That's what I had to do. I had to start from the bottom. I belonged to a company that we did our own films. In the late 70s, we did about 8 or 9 second. In those days, they had what was called a second billing in a movie. There was a main feature and a second billing. So we did a lot of those biker movies and horror movies and simulated sex movies, and where I learned to shoot and I learned to edit and I learned to direct and everything else. And then I had to figure out that that didn't help me. I have to get into the goddamn unions. Everybody stopped, and it was hard to get in the unions. The Directors Guild went to a young filmmaker took the Directors Guild to court because they had a monopoly on the goddamn thing. They wouldn't let people in. So they opened it up, and they set on a program, a written program, what it was. Like, you had to fill out all this paperwork. And out of, I think they selected 60, and I was one of the 60s that was selected,
nice. Yeah,
which
yeah.
I got into the union. And the first show I started working on was Stephen Cannell's with James Garner. What's it called? Rockford Files.
Oh, the Rockford
The
Files.
Rockford
Yeah.
Greatest person in the world, James Garner.
I read that. He was really, everybody loved him.
He'd walk in the
Yeah.
morning and he'd talk to every guy, the grip, the
Yeah,
gaffer, the
yeah.
crew, the craft service person, always saying hi.
Yeah, I read that everybody just loved him. He was very personable with everybody on the sets and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
And that Stephen Cannell wasn't a Universal lot, and he wanted to do 4 or 5 shows, the Hardcastle, Mr. T, and those other shows that I was on, and they wanted to charge him too much money, so he went to Culver City and built his own studio. And didn't have, because Union, the big studios have so much cost that it's ridiculous. They got cost of the paper and everything else, and drives the producers crazy. So he went and built his own studio and did what was it? Hardcastle McCormick, the A-Team, and Riptide.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Riptide, those 5 or 6 shows?
Yeah. Are you there, Bill?
I am, sir. What was the first film that you directed, Louis?
I did one. I worked so long trying to get into the Directors Guild, and with Stephen Cannell then promising you to direct it, didn't happen. There's too many people in front of me, so I just quit television.
Right.
And I started doing independent films. I'd met a guy that had his own remote video camera. It was unusual in those days, and it took 2 hours to set the goddamn things up because they had these globes and everything else, and the cameras wouldn't work, and all kinds of problems. Anyway, him and I collaborated, and we shot about 4 pilots to try and sell to the networks, and we presented, but they didn't sell. One I thought was a fantastic idea. Son of Santa, it was called. It was a story about a son of Santa. He was in the North Pole, and he wanted to go to Hollywood, or he wanted to go to San Francisco and be a detective, and his father wouldn't let him, his mother wouldn't let him, so they finally relinquished it, but they said, you have to take these 3 elves with you. And the 3 elves were invisible to everybody else except Son of Santa.
Yeah.
So the first show we shot at 31 Flavors Ice Cream in Hollywood Boulevard, and we would shoot the shows so that we would rather than just giving the script, we thought there would be a better way of doing it, but very difficult to break in. So the first movie I directed was something called Black Angels, I think, a motorcycle movie.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, big problem with goddamn motorcycles. The goddamn things are air cooled, and you can't stop and start them. And the movies are stop and start. So we had trouble, and we had a gang. And about 4 o'clock in the morning, after about the 3rd day, they just got up and we heard the motorcycles roaring on. And they just left. You had no control over them, you know.
So
They figured they'd come there, smoke all of our dope, and do all the women, and then leave, you know. And that was how their gig was.
and they did.
And they did.
They didn't just think it; they did it.
That's great.
Tell me, how many? You did a documentary here. How many have you done in the Valley? You
The
did
first one I did with Harold Joe, called Wisdom of the River,
Okay.
about the salmon people and the Cowger people. Then I did Thunder in the Valley, about the first powwow that was here in town for after 4 or 5 years. Then I did Unrepentant, a story of the residential school survivors told through the eyes of a white minister. He was over in Port Alberni, and he started.
saw that, actually.
Kevin Annett. He started talking about the natives, and there was no natives in the church, so he wondered why. Because he wanted parishioners, and he went out and started talking to them, and he tried to bring them in, and the management said, "Don't do that. We don't want any natives in church." So he kept doing it. So they finally delisted him. They called it delisting, and they kicked him out of the United Church. So the
Jeez.
story was told for him because he was the one that investigated and did a lot of the research and wrote books on it. Wrote a great book, that's what I found, called Love and Death in the Valley. That's what it was called. And I said, that's the story. Because I tried to do it, I was trying to do it about 5 or 6 months before that, and I called it Canada's Apartheid. And I thought that was appropriate because the funny thing about it is in the 40s, South African government came to Canada to understand how they did the Indian Act and could control people, used just called them. They didn't call them names; they just called numbers. Everybody that went to residential, they took their names away from them. They gave them a fucking number.
A number.
Wow.
God
What
damn.
about the diary?
Oh, the diary was based. That was a fictional story that I wrote, a script I wrote, and we shot that here too.
Yeah, it was fictional.
Fictional, yeah. It was based loosely on Unrepentant.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened to that one?
I'm still trying to find a market for it.
Okay.
The problem is when you do an independent film is that you can give it away and put it on the internet, which is not very good because we got to make a few bucks. Or you try to get it into theaters or sell videos. And if you don't have Brad Pitt as a star, they won't even look at the film. It's like you have the same fucking problem with the music. You write a song, you think it's great, you try to sell it, and the only one to listen to it is Long John,
This is 14 plus, folks.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, we like it.
No, it's okay. It's the first time that it's happened, and we're
Are
cool
you
with
kidding?
it. No, it's okay. We just, no dinner for you
Now that you've
tonight.
No
broken
different.
the ice, there's
Thank
going to be a
you.
lot of F-bombs, Louis.
Thank you.
A lot more F-bombs from now on.
Bleep, bleep.
Well, Tim's supposed to be able to bleep that out, isn't he?
Oh, he's sharp.
He's sharp.
Now, here's a question, Louis. I
Yes.
know that perhaps we knew quite a few people who were in the diary. Now, how do you handle, you get green people coming in off the street, volunteering to be in your documentary or your movie? How do you handle those people with no acting
Well, I
experience?
I also, to make a few bucks, I also taught acting and filmmaking for probably 10 years in Hollywood.
Nice.
And then I started doing it here. I did it in Victoria for about another 5 or 6 years. So I've learned how to, there's no magic to making a movie. It's people working very hard. First off, you got to have the script. It's like a music, a song.
Yeah.
You got to have the song. You got to have the lyrics in the song. If you got that, you can find the guitar player. If he doesn't play right, you kick the son of a bitch out and get another one.
Yeah.
And musicians are like actors and crew people. They want to work.
Dime
Yeah.
a dozen.
Yeah, time it doesn't. I didn't say that. You said that.
I just heard it somewhere.
Yeah.
The
So
thing-
yes, that's
yeah.
the reason I could do it. No, I don't know how many people that could do it, but I can do it. I just try to train them and try to do it. And I don't like a big crew anyway. If you have the smaller the crew you have, better. Because the whole problem, the whole deal of shooting a movie is what's in front of the goddamn camera. That's the actors.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out some way to create magic with the actors, create an atmosphere that they can create magic. Otherwise, it's not good. Well, you know that standing on stage. Sometimes on stage, you've done the same damn thing over and over again. Are there nights that you said, "Oh Jesus, we were terrible"?
Yeah. Well, that doesn't happen very often.
Of course, it wouldn't happen. to you.
Not to Gene. No. Gosh, no. Bomb? Egg on his face? No.
Oh, yeah, it has happened. Yeah.
There was the one time we got fired. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It was let's not go there, Billy.
Well, that's the thing about movies.
That was
you
good, though.
You get fired. You get fired. I've replaced many directors. I've replaced assistant directors, and they've replaced me. And it's just a business. And if somebody's doing something and they got a particular idea in mind, and if you don't follow in that plan, you're gone.
You're gone. Yeah.
Is that the same thing with music?
Well, we're coming from a place where I worked with Ronnie. If you didn't do the right things when you're in his band, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
Like, if you.
Well, he hears the sound and he knows what it sounds like, and that's what he wants.
But if you're affecting the whole sound of the band. Because you're drinking too much and you won't stop or whatever, or you're being late, then you're gone.
Late's a big problem. We have the same thing in movies. That's the first thing I learned in the movie industry. It was always be 15 to 20 minutes late. Never be late. If you're late, you'll be gone.
That's right. Yeah. I always would be at my gigs at least an hour to 2 hours early. Sometimes if it was out of town, I'd be even a day early. Just so I'd get to the gig on time. Because I know musicians that come 5 minutes before we have to go on. You know what I mean?
Well, they got bad attitudes.
Who's chatting there now, Bill?
Oh, we got a few. Let's see. Victoria Slager.
Good.
Louis is Eugene's partner. She says, I love the commitment and energy of your guest. Rightly so. Great storyteller you are, and what a life, Louis.
Did she send money?
There you go, Victoria. check's in the mail.
The
No, she
check
didn't
is
say
in
that.
the mail.
And Powder Kelly Hayda, Mom said to say she loves your white hair, Eugene.
Oh,
That's,
thank you.
Yeah, I like it too.
Pete's mom and sister from London, Ontario.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go.
It's the new me with the beard and the hair and all that stuff. Afro dreads.
Somebody's suggesting you should do a zombie flick, Louis. I guess you could actually hide a lot of social stories inside.
Yeah,
a zombie
I've
flick.
done quite a few horror movies. I
There
remember
you-
the greatest horror movie we did was we tried to figure out how to put a head in a microwave and blow it up, which was fantastic. It was very simple. You put the head in there and he blows it up, but you can't film the goddamn thing because it happens so fast. It just, you don't see anything, you know. So it was a hell of a job trying to figure that out. I wasn't a director, so I didn't have to worry about
Well,
that.
what if you took a little tiny camera that wouldn't melt or anything, like, and put it in there, you know?
I don't think a camera would not melt. Yeah, I don't think unless you got a lot of money and want to spend. I've seen that too.
Listen, we could do it.
So we need some good scripts.
Not with my cameras.
Not with your
Yeah,
cameras.
we
That's
mess
good.
around.
What kind of famous people have you worked with? People
Oh.
that we know of.
Louis Lawless, I worked with him.
Oh.
No, you meet a lot of famous people. Because the Directors Guild, when you're in the union, every Fridays and Saturday night, we would have screenings of all the movies that came out.
Okay.
And they have a fantastic luxury, the goddamn seats, probably about $1,000 seat. You sit in, and all the money we give them, they should. Anyways, you meet a lot of people there. They have gatherings and all the unions. And many actors cross over and are directors and everything else. And there's always meetings where you meet people, yes.
Yeah.
I worked with George Peppard. He was a character, George Peppard.
Oh, what a guy.
What a guy. The best actor I think I ever worked with and loved was Brian Keith. Brian Keith was such a lovely guy.
Yes. I liked him.
Did
yes,
some great
yeah.
westerns and dramas. Yeah.
Brian-
Mr. T was fantastic. I did a couple of movies with Mr. T. Muhammad Ali would not look at you because you were white. He would walk
Really?
up to a group of people. There would be 20 or 30 whites and maybe 2 or 3 blacks. He'd talk directly to the blacks.
Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali. And he had his entourage that would come around with him. The blacks with that little thin, skinny tie. You know,
Oh, yeah.
what was the name of the group? No.
The Who?
No, the Muslim groups that
Black Panther.
Black Panthers.
Oh, the
I don't know
Black
what they're-
Panthers.
But they all dressed exactly the same, and they probably all sat in their limos before they got out and said, "Nobody smile," because they never smiled. You couldn't figure
wow.
out what they were doing.
Yeah.
I love Muhammad Ali. He would walk. He would come. We did a movie, a boxing movie. I can't remember the name of it. I was the key grip, and we were out in this big auditorium. About 500 people were there, whites. And Muhammad Ali came, and he would walk around the crowd looking for girls, and he would point. And a few moments later, the girl would walk over and walk to the trailer. Well, they were just socializing, of course.
Of course.
Oh my God! You're giving Eugene a wider vision of his hero here,
Yes.
Louis.
Yeah, but he was a hell of a boxer.
He was a hell of a boxer
He
and a
was-
great poet.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate you coming down
sure
today.
do.
Yeah, it
Well,
was very
thank you.
nice. Yeah, just somebody different.
Well, Long John
Talk-
said I better come down and pay back because I've done so many things there and didn't give him a goddamn dime, and he's still coming.
Oh my goodness, you're kidding.
I know. So I figured if I come down here and do this, it'll help out. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yes, we appreciate you
Louis.
coming
If you need
down.
any more help with it, don't hesitate to call.
You are a fascinating guest, sir. What a great life. Oh, what was the? How will we find the documentary that Gene was in when it gets? What will be the name of it?
It's called Born into Racism.
Born into Racism,
Born
and it
into-
is available now on YouTube.
No. I probably won't finish until May, June, July, probably sometime in August. Get it prepared, and then I got to hustle up some money so that I can
Right.
get an answer print. It's not called an answer print anymore. It's called Digital Cinema Package, so that I can show it in the theaters in New York. That's the requirements of the Academy for 1 week, and in 1 week in Los Angeles. It costs about $40,000 to put that together. And the great thing about it, though, is they look at the goddamn things. I've entered many film festivals, and if you don't have Brad Pitt again, and so they don't even look at your goddamn films. Victoria Film Festival gets probably 4,000, maybe 3,000 entries.
Wow.
You think they're going to look at 3,000 films?
No.
No, they're going to look at the goddamn cover and see who's on it, and that's it. That's a wrap.
Well, that's in the music business too. We
Oh,
used to-
no, you're kidding.
Oh, yeah, like
Why
if-
are they always ripping off
Yeah.
the Shakespeare or most of the plays, they're always the actors were coming at the end and then would leave. Nobody ever had much use for the actors in the house.
Yeah, they would listen to I remember in the '60s they were talking about the DJs at radio stations. They would listen to the first 2 seconds or 3 seconds of the song, and if they didn't like it, it was in the basket. Yes. Yeah, it was in the garbage. I know that's how much that's the same thing that you were saying. But anyways, that's just the way it is, Billy?
That's the way it is, Gene.
So we'd like to thank everybody. Now, what do we have? Harmonica, or if you want?
Am I out of here?
You can stay if you want.
I'm going home for dinner.
Okay.
Oh, thanks so much.
Let's have a hand for Louis Lawless.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, sir.
But let's wait till after.
Legendary.
Okay.
We'll be ready until then.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
Thanks, Louis. So you're going to play the song that got us fired from the Black Rock Lodge, or what are you going to do?
Well, it's funny you should say that, Billy. So what do we have? The harmonica or the jaw harp? What's going on? Strawberries, is that the one that got it? Okay. This is the edited version. Okay, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, that's safe. Play it safe.
Play it safe. Strawberries, strawberries. Everybody get some fresh strawberries. All right. Strawberries, strawberries. Everybody get some fresh strawberries. Well, they're good and juicy and red and ready to eat. Strawberries, strawberries make mighty fine treat. Yeah, they do. I say they do. You old Lord do. I put them on my oatmeal. I put them on my girlfriend. Yeah, all I got a gal way down south, Eliza Jane. She's gonna talk loud, Eliza Jane. Well, Eliza Jane. Oh, Eliza Jane. Stop it. There you go.
Oh, man. Just as ripe and delicious as ever. That's so good. I really missed that song. Thank you for
Thank you,
for bringing
folks.
it back.
Thank you.
And as the infamous Malachi would say, why would you want to put strawberries on your girlfriend? Well, give it a few weeks, kiddo. You'll find out. Not on the first date, eh, Scotty? I think you wait a couple of dates before you put strawberries on your girlfriend. Well, that was great. Louis, what a wonderful guest.
Yes.
What a
very
life. And that guy has lived and continues to do good work. What a wonderful fella.
And who do we have next week?
No idea. Diana Braithwaite is coming in and accompanied by Chris Whiteley.
Yes.
And you, I guess. The three of you on stage. Titans, I don't know. Big stage. Big people, small stage? No, it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
They live together, so they have a bubble.
Yes.
And you socialize with them.
Yes.
Nice people. And we've been so happy to have both of them in the Valley for the entire COVID period. So maybe they'll move out here.
Maybe. That's a possibility. There's lots of people, quite a few people who have said they're going to try and move out here at one point.
Not too many.
Not too many, thank you.
Quality Quality people. So we've got Diana Braithwaite next week. The week after that, oh my gosh, will I get the name right? Jim Scales?
Yes.
Right. Is that right? This is recommended by John. Apparently he's a local fella who's a singer-songwriter, a country aficionado extraordinaire.
He plays in a lot of the elderly homes.
Nice.
Yes.
Sounds like a wonderful fellow, and we look
Yeah.
forward to meeting him. That's 2 weeks hence. And on the 23rd of March, none other than Sweet Joe Sharon. Do they call him that? I don't know what they call him.
Sweet?
Joe. I just made that up. Joe Sharon is coming over. He's been cooking a lot, man. He posts some pretty good cooking recipes there.
Cooking Joe.
So Cooking Joe Sharon. There we go. And he's doing a show. John says it's on the Sunday before. So hopefully he'll still hang around. I know he's got his daughter here, so looking forward to seeing Joe.
Thank you, folks. And don't forget the last Tuesday of the month and the first Tuesday of next month, we won't be here. We're taking a break for 2 weeks off, but we'll be back.
Right on.
On the second Tuesday of April.
That's it, Gene. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Goodbye now.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
I need a hum. Hello. I know, I caught you by surprise, right? I know. You're the one that paid the cover charge. And you're not ready? Okay. Here, I'm going to give you your money back. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving my time. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. 'Cause a big convicted of crime. Well, hold it steady right there while I hit it. Oh, there I reckon that to get it. I've been working. Yeah. And working, but I still got so terrible long to go. No, I'm not ready. I committed crime, Lord, and evil. Crime of being hungry and poor. Left a ghost of stone man a bleeding when he caught me robbing his store. Hold it steady right there while I hit it. Oh, yeah. There, I reckon that ought to get it. I've been working and working, but I still got so terrible long to go. Yeah, you know, I got so terrible long to. Breaking up big rocks on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving. Oh yeah, I'm serving mine. All right, all right. That was for the ladies. There you go.